Hey, maybe you're wondering, what am I gonna do with my life? How do I do this whole thing called life? Well, you're in the right place. My name is Marianne DeNovelis, and you are with the Six Figure Mastermind, and we're gonna go through nitty-gritty on how to win at life. Hey, Marianne DeNovelis here, and we've got a super cool topic for you today. The question is, what are the rules of life? Now, I have very, very basic rules in my world, and the rules of life really translate into habits. What are my rules for life? And the first and foremost thing I want you to remember is this. A lot of people create rules that you can't win at. So when you're creating rules of life and you're on YouTube looking for the best rules of life, remember that you need to create rules that you can win at. Because if life is a game, let's have some fun with it. So here's my first rule. My first rule of life is to wake up early. There is a magical time that happens between 3 and 5 in the morning. I know, I said early, right? 3 o'clock in the morning is super, super early. But there is some magic that happens in that hour where your mind can be open to receive before anyone else on the planet wakes up, before anyone else starts their day, before the cars get out on the freeway, before their time starts to be taken up with activities and obligations. It's time to pause and take time to become you, to step into your power, to give yourself that mental and physical nourishment that you need on a daily basis. Waking up at 3 a.m. between 3 and 5 in the morning has given me more downloads than any other time during the day because it is just time meant for me. Rule number 2, daily gratitude. Man, let's face it, if you're gonna do life, let's do it with a feeling of gratitude because that is the way to do it right. We have so many blessings and so many reasons to be grateful. I mean, think about it. I don't know if you've ever had the chance to travel to a third world country. I've been really blessed to be able to travel to several. And one of the most deep experiences I had was in Kenya. When we went to visit Eldoret, Kenya, I was warned before we visited by one of our guides that said, Marianne, you're going to be shocked to find how many people here are in abject poverty. You may not want to bring your kids because they are going to see conditions with these children where they have flies on their faces and no food to eat. And I got to tell you, when I got there, I was completely blown away, but not like you would expect. Of course, we saw what we were warned about. Of course, we saw the people who were living in tatters and second and third and fourth and fifth hand clothing that was donated from the other side of the world. I'll never forget seeing a young man who was wearing a Lion King shirt with a big hole ripped on it. And I thought, I wonder if he even knows that that's about his country. I wonder if he even knows about the Lion King. That's because it's so far away from what he knows. So what astounded me was not the poverty that they lived in. What astounded me was their gratitude. Gratitude was the linchpin for their happiness. There were so many reasons for them to be unhappy. There were so many reasons for them to be depressed. There were so many pieces of evidence that should have said, your life is hard. There were so many reasons for them to be in a negative mindset. But there were also plenty of reasons for them to be grateful. I remember meeting a man out on the Masai Mara who only lived in a house made of mud and sticks. And this house was very small. It was smaller than this room. And in this house, he had a small hole in the ceiling for the chimney, and he had to create fire every day to create his food, to create nourishment for himself. And food was sparse on the Mara as it was. Usually what they ate was meat from the cow. They didn't have herbs, they didn't have spices, they didn't have agriculture. But this man walked around with a smile on his face, because of the gratitude that he had for the earth that he lived on and for the company that he kept. He would tell me that his life was good. He would tell me that he was blessed. He would tell me that he survived a lion attack 2 years before and was so grateful to be taking another breath that day. It forced me to think, how often do I complain about my first world problems? How often do I complain that there's no Wi-Fi? How often do I complain that my videos won't load on time? How often do I complain that my car battery didn't start my car? We are in a habit of complaining. We are in a habit of searching for fault. And if we can abandon that habit and grasp onto gratitude, I guarantee you, you will always find what you're looking for. Here's my challenge to you right now. Today, find 5 things to be grateful for. Write them down. Post them on Facebook. Create gratitude in your world that says, I am grateful for what I have, for the breath in my lungs, for the heartbeat in my chest. Gratitude is one of the biggest keys for winning at life. Another key for winning at life is something I call breakthrough. And if I'm going to be really honest with you, it's the foundational key for everything that I do. And here's what breakthrough means to me. In my world, there are lots of things that come up against me that would invite me to make decisions about myself that aren't really useful and don't really serve me. Think about it this way. As a mom, I have amazing children. I have 5 amazing little ones. And I have one specific daughter who loves to draw and loves to create. She's been doing it since she could hold a crayon in her hand. And she creates magnificent art pieces and has for the past 11 years. She's an incredible artist. And she will oftentimes come up to me and show me her latest masterpiece. And I will oftentimes be ready to receive that and look at it, admire that. And sometimes I'll be distracted and I'll forget to give it the attention it deserves. Now, as a young child, it would be really easy for her to say, oh, mom doesn't care about me, or mom doesn't think I'm important, or I'm not recognized and I'm not significant. And you've probably seen a child overreact. If anyone have seen these Facebook videos and these YouTube videos about kids completely overreacting because their balloon popped or because their parents wouldn't let them play with something dangerous, you can see how these children's minds are making incredibly damaging decisions that, unless extricated, will cause future damage. Imagine making a decision as a 5-year-old that mom doesn't love me because mom was finishing a text instead of looking at my picture. Now imagine taking that belief with you all through your life. What results would that create? I mean, let's be honest. If your brain is always looking for the evidence that mom doesn't like me, it's going to find what it's looking for. And that's why breakthrough is essential in winning at life. You've got to be able to take a look at those stacks of thoughts that aren't working for you. Thoughts like, I can't, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not fast enough, or I'm fat, or I'm unable, or it's scary, or I have danger in my world. All of those ideas, there's hundreds and thousands of them. When you release yourself from those ideas and embrace what serves you instead, you get thoughts like this. I'm an excellent producer. I love spending time with my children. I create value wherever I go. I live in prosperity and abundance. I am smart. I am capable. I am exciting. I am so much fun to be around. I love my life. Now imagine what those kinds of results would create for you. If you want to live at life, it starts in the mind. If you want to win at life, it all starts right up here in your mind. And here's my last tip for you for winning at life. And this is kind of a bonus. You may not be expecting this one. This one is one of the habits of highly successful people, and that is to read. You know, I have a friend that doesn't read very often. This person has maybe read 6 books cover to cover in their entire 50 years on this planet. And I watch and I listen to this person's vocabulary, and I watch their realm of understanding get small, and I watch their imagination not have much to work with. And I compare it to people like my mother, who reads constantly, who reads all the time, who's a connoisseur of literature. She knows all of the amazing stories and possibilities and has fantastic imagination to tell stories to my children and to relate ideas and concepts. When you find time and when you make time to make reading a part of your lifestyle, you open yourself to vast amounts of information, vast amounts of inspiration, and vast amounts of knowledge. Imagine taking the time to read all of the books that were ever written on the planet. You'd probably pass away before you finished everything. The amount of knowledge, the wealth of knowledge that exists on this planet is there for the taking. If you want to win at life and have the habit of one of the most successful people on the planet, the highest percentage of success on the planet belongs to a certain group of people. That group of people has a book in their hand at least once a day. I don't care if it's 5 minutes. I don't care if it's 2 minutes. I don't care if it's 20 minutes. You have a book in your hand so that you're digesting what's really important. You want to be able to have that imagination explode. If you want new ideas, open up a book. And I'm going to give you a tip on top of that. I don't know about you, But my most valuable piece of real estate isn't the home that I live on. It's right between my ears. My most valuable real estate is right between my ears. So I am super picky about what I put there. I'm super picky about what I'm digesting from the internet. I'm super picky about what I'm reading. I'm super picky about the pictures that I'm looking at online because I know how valuable this real estate is. And if I put something in my brain, then there has to be room for it. And I want there to be room in my brain for things that help me win at life. So think about what you're digesting every day, not just in your body, but in your mind. Think about what you're looking at, what you're hearing. And here's a little side note. Think about the music that you're listening to. Because if you ever wonder what your life is going to look like in 6 weeks, you can tell by the music that's sounding in your ears. You can tell by the songs that you've memorized. So if you want to upgrade your life, upgrade your input. Isn't that amazing? All those simple things can really up-level your world. So in the comments below, I just want to hear, show me those top 5 things that you're grateful for. I would love to hear from you guys. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and we look forward to seeing you at one of our next events.